The issue of cultural appropriation has ignited a heated debate, as Mexican authorities have formally accused Adidas, the renowned sportswear giant, of copying traditional designs from indigenous artisans in southern Mexico. This dispute centers around a recently released sandal model by Adidas that bears a striking resemblance to the traditional Mexican Huaraches, a type of handmade sandal deeply rooted in cultural heritage. But here's where it gets controversial. Adidas is not the first global brand to face such accusations in Mexico, and this issue raises complex questions about creativity, ownership, and respect for heritage. Mexican officials have urged Adidas to pull the sandal from the market, emphasizing that this is more than just a case of design inspiration. It's about protecting centuries-old craft traditions. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum revealed that Adidas is currently in negotiations with local authorities in Oaxaca, the southern state known for its rich indigenous crafts. These talks involve potential compensation for the artisans who have been, in the government's view, plagiarized. Additionally, the Mexican government plans to introduce stronger legal protections aimed at stopping future cases of cultural copying, signaling a growing intent to safeguard indigenous intellectual property rights. At the heart of the controversy is the Oaxaca Slip-On, a sandal designed by Willy Chavarria, a U.S. designer collaborating with Adidas Originals. This footwear features thin, braided leather straps that mirror the traditional style of Huaraches, a symbol of Zapotec indigenous craftsmanship from towns like Villa Hidalgo de Yalalag in Oaxaca. Unlike traditional Huaraches, which use flat leather soles, Adidas has added a thick, sporty sole, an element that attempts to modernize the design, but also raises the question of where inspiration crosses into appropriation. Handicrafts such as these are not just cultural artifacts. They are a vital economic resource in Mexico, supporting around 500,000 artisans nationwide. The sale of traditional crafts accounts for approximately 10% of the gross domestic product in states like Oaxaca, Jalisco, Michoacán, and Guerrero, underlining their significant role in both cultural preservation and local economies. For practitioners like Viridiana Farquín Garcia, who makes and sells Huaraches in Oaxaca's capital, Adidas's version feels like a hollow imitation that undermines the skill and care that Mexican artisans dedicate to their work. The artistry is fading. Our traditions are slipping away, she lamented at her modest stall filled with genuine leather shoes. Local authorities have firmly demanded that Adidas recall the Oaxaca Slip-On and issue a formal apology to the communities affected. Officials have described the situation as clear-cut cultural appropriation, which may also violate Mexican laws designed to protect indigenous culture and heritage. In a pointed letter to Adidas executives, Oaxaca's governor Salomon Jara Cruz argued that merely calling this borrowing creative inspiration is insufficient justification when the designs represent the identity and history of indigenous communities. Culture isn't a commodity to be sold, it's something to be honored and respected, he asserted, challenging Adidas and similar companies to rethink their approach to indigenous cultural motifs. Adidas responded to the backlash with a letter acknowledging the importance of Mexico's indigenous cultural richness and expressing respect for the criticisms raised. The company has requested a dialogue with local government representatives to explore ways to make amends and support the indigenous groups affected by this controversy. This incident follows a pattern of ongoing tensions between Mexico's indigenous artisans and international fashion brands who have been accused of exploiting traditional designs without proper acknowledgement or compensation. In 2021, Mexico's federal government confronted brands like Zara, Anthropology, and Pat Towel over similar claims regarding unauthorized use of indigenous designs from Oaxaca. As Mexico pushes for stricter regulations to protect its artisans, officials emphasize the delicate balance between shielding these artists from exploitation while not hindering potential collaborations with large commercial brands that offer broader market opportunities. Narina Núñez, México's Undersecretario de Cultura del Gobierno, highlighted this desafío, notando que las regulaciones deberían proteger los derechos de los artistas sin limitar su habilidad de comercializarse. La pregunta continúa: ¿cómo deben las marcas globales navegar la fina línea entre traer inspiración de culturas y respetar los derechos y tradiciones de las comunidades que detrás esas culturas? Is the commercialization of traditional designs ever justifiable if done with collaboration and respect? Or should certain cultural expressions remain untouched by corporate interests? This controversy is a vivid reminder that cultural heritage is not just a design element. It is the living identity of a people, deserving thoughtful preservation and ethical engagement. What do you think? Should companies like Adidas face strict penalties for using indigenous designs? Or is there room for respectful cultural exchange through collaboration? Share your thoughts below and join the conversation on this pressing and intricate issue.